Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another deck profile. Yesterday, you may have seen the Vegito versus Zamasu gameplay featuring the brand new Mono Blue set 10 decks that are coming out very soon. Well, maybe not very soon, but kind of soon. If you guys didn't see that video, I definitely recommend checking it out. But today, we are going to go over the Mono Blue Vegito deck profile. I did a video earlier this week talking about how this leader could possibly take the meta by storm. I think it's an incredibly strong leader. I think the cards that support it are also incredibly powerful. We're going to talk about all that in today's video. So if you want to see a set 10 deck profile, we're here to do that. Guys, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. If you want to help support the channel, there are many free ways to do that during these trying times. You can always subscribe, like the video, maybe share the video, maybe watch an ad. And if you want to buy or pre-order any of the cards you see in today's video, you can always use my link in the description to either TCG Player or Brew Collectibles. Those are all free ways to help out the channel. That being said, let's get right on into the deck profile. So we're starting off with the Vegito Leader. Some of you guys may not have seen what it does yet. I will give it a quick read because it's kind of complicated. Auto, when this card attacks, draw one. We are starting on the unawakened side. Auto, if it's your opponent's turn, when one of your blue Unison cards will be placed in your drop area, or one of your blue battle cards is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, you may flip this card over. If you do, draw two cards. So that's basically one way you get to awaken, and you can do it relatively early. Because again, we're playing a monocolored deck. You actually have a turn one, so you can play battle cards early, and if they get removed, you get to flip. His normal awaken, when he lays a 4 or less, you can draw one, untap an energy, and flip over. The SSB Vegito Godhood Transcended, incredibly powerful leader. When this card attacks, draw one, activate battle, pay 2 blue, choose one of your blue Unison cards, and it gets plus 10,000 power and triple strike for the battle. Now, here's the thing. I talked about a lot how your leader had to be the workhorse of your deck, at least as far as last format was concerned. But moving into set 10, your Unison cards, if they're strong enough to warrant it, they can also be the workhorses of your deck, especially when you have effects like this, because there aren't really ways like Arrival or Counterplay or things like that that interact with Unison cards mid-battle. There is like one extra card, and there probably will be a few more cards that take markers off of things, and those can be Activate Battle. The blue one is Activate Battle, but as long as you're smart with your markers, as long as you don't have too few markers, like one marker or two markers when you're going in for game, you're going to be pretty safe going in with your Unison cards. And it's kind of a refreshing thing with Dragon Ball Super. With battle cards, it was very unsafe for a long time because, again, Counterplay, Arrival, this and that. But now that we have one Unison card and our one leader to pretty safely go in, you know, your opponent can negate the attack, but if you go in for that damage, you're able to combo and not worry about losing everything on a effect like that. So enough about that, enough rambling about that. Auto once per turn, if it's your opponent's turn, when one of your blue Unison cards will be placed in your drop area, or one of your blue battle cards is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, switch up to one of your mono blue energy to active mode and draw one card. So you're able there to basically get a free awakened ability if your opponent removes your cards. Pretty strong. Like, this thing keeps up pretty well with card advantage, and if your opponent removes your board, which in the past it was pretty hard to build a board, if your opponent deals with your board, you're able to accrue advantage, which is pretty awesome. Now, here is the Unison card lineup we're playing. We're playing 4 Gogeta Pursuit of Power and 2 Super Saiyan Gotenks Absolute Union. I kind of want to bump Gotenks up to 3, but the deck space is a bit tight. He is one of your main win cons in the deck, so he's a 4-drop Unison dual attack blocker. The dual attack is actually so relevant. Since your Vegito Leader's effect is an Activate Battle, you can attack with Gotenks, and if they negate, you don't lose anything because you're not using your leader's effect yet, and then you can attack the second time, and then if they don't negate, you can then use your leader's Activate Battle, given the 10k triple strike. It's really nuts. The -2 and -3 effects are very good. You either get to draw 2 or you get to remove 2 cards, ignoring barrier, put them at the bottom of the owner's deck. Very solid overall. 2 to 3. I'm at 2 right now. I might try and fit the third one in. Gogeta Pursuit of Power, you want to see this on every single turn too. It is our 2-drop Unison. Permanent if your leader card is a blue Saiyan, which we are, and you have a blue Saiyan battle card in play in rest mode, which we have a ton in the deck. Your leader cards don't take damage from attacks. Plus or -0, activate main. Choose one of your leader cards or battle cards. Switch to rest mode, add a marker to this card, and then -2, you can draw 1, and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost greater than the current energy, ignoring barrier. Place at the bottom of the owner's deck. Really good for if your opponent's playing like a boss monster strategy, you can basically remove it. Now, this card is what we want to see every turn too, because our leader can awaken early, so your opponent might just say, okay, I'm going to attack your leader, not your battle cards, but this thing kind of forces them to attack the battle cards, or they're just not going to deal any type of damage to you as a leader. So really good 2-drop blue Unison. I'm a big fan. Next up, we're going to the 1-drop. So we're playing 4 Super Saiyan Blue Son Goku Tenacious Warrior. 1-drop auto. When this card attacks, add a life to your hand. Gains plus 11,000 power. So a 15k aggressive 1-drop. Auto when this card is KO'd. Look up the 7 cards at the top of your deck. add up to 1 blue Unison card with a specified cost of 2 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So double-sided thing here. You attack with it, you take the life, and then on your opponent's turn, it's very vulnerable. You really do want them to attack it so you can awaken, and if they do, you get another added benefit. When it's KO'd, you have to search for a Unison card. A lot of times, though, they're not going to attack it. In the gameplay, I wasn't playing these blockers over here, but I did add them to the deck. I bumped the Isekai Keeping Watch to the sideboard. These cards, you do want turn 1 blockers, so you can awaken as early as possible in certain matchups. Right now, I'm trying out a 2-2 split between Joe Call, High Stakes Guardian, and Dr. Rhoda, Unknown Potential. So, Joe Call, you can look at the top card of your opponent's deck. If it's a battle card, it'll gain revenge until the end of the next turn. And Dr. Rhoda, when it's KO'd via blocking or any other way, you can untap a blue energy. So I think I'm going to end up going with 4 Dr. Rhoda eventually, because I don't think revenge is going to be super relevant, especially because it's kind of like chancy, kind of gimmicky. So this will probably be 4 Dr. Rhoda. Dr. Rhoda is going to be stellar in aggro matchups where you tap out for him on turn 1, and then you block with him, and then you're able to untap the energy and then keep playing defense. That's going to be very relevant, I think. So I'll probably go with 4 Dr. Rhoda, but I am trying out the Joe Call. They're both very good. Just the 1-drop blockers is kind of what you need. All right, 4 Senzu, 4 Dimension Magic, 4 Ultra Instinct Goku Kamehameha. This is pretty standard stuff here. The only thing I'm kind of questioning is Ultra Instinct Son Goku's Kamehameha, because as I learned the hard way, unfortunately, this card cannot boost Unison cards, and a lot of times you will be going for game with your Unison cards. So that's pretty unfortunate. You still can use it during the battle of a Unison card, but you don't get the plus 15k, which is very relevant, but it is a great defensive card. The thing I would switch this out for would be either the pseudo combo Goku or the pseudo combo Cell, because they serve a similar purpose. It's not quite as flexible as this card, and you can't really charge it if you open it early and don't really want it, but it's a thing I'm tinkering with. Again, this is in the very early stages of the deck, so keep that in mind. Let me know what you think in the comments below about these changes that I'm talking about. Here we go with the super combos. 4 Zamasu Sacred Disbelief. Now, cool thing about Vegito is you really don't need to play mono blue, because Leader's kind of generic in that sense. Like on the Awaken side, you untap mono blue energy, but it's pretty easy to just charge 1 mono blue energy and then just, you know, keep untapping that for the rest of the game. But I think all the cards in this deck serve a purpose. They all do something. They all play a role. So I like mono blue for that reason. Zamasu, though, you're never charging it, and it's a great super combo. So I like playing the blue yellow super combo in the deck. You could play the blue green super combo if you wanted to. You could play any of the normal blue super combos. You could also play the Zeno super combo, but I don't really think it's that necessary, because you already have plenty of untap. You have 4 Being, 4 Dimension Magic, and your Leader untapping energy. So I don't think you really need the extra untap. I think Zamasu, for its value of tapping other battle cards, other leader cards, is very good. Dispo Sonic Subversion. If you don't see your Unison card on turn 2, you want this card in play. It just deals with really big boss monsters, helps you get Awakened if your opponent's not attacking you, and if they remove it, you get another added benefit of drawing a card. The card's just such a good 2-drop for blue. Then we're going with some of our counterplay options. 2 UI Goku. I kind of don't even want to play it, but there are some battle cards like Vegeta 7 and other big barrier deflect battle cards that you're going to want to bounce back to the hand. So playing the 2 of is good. It is getting reprinted, so that's always nice. Hit Deadly Vanguard. This card is one of the MVPs of the deck. The fact that this thing can bounce back Frieza Secret Rare, bounce back Smoke Dragon Secret Rare, this thing just really answers so many problems. And the fact that it's a 3 energy, bounce back 2, is just so high value. Like, you negate the play of one of them, and then you bounce back another threat, so you're really stopping 2 threats for 1 card. It's so strong. And then we're playing 4 SS Trunks God Sealing Technique. This card is a counterplay that says you cannot activate counterplay for the duration of the turn, and you discard this card from your hand to negate the play of any battle card and bounce it back to the opponent's hand. So this is the first time blue is getting a card that negates the play of pretty much anything, you know, that not counting deflect. So if it doesn't have deflect, if it comes down, you bounce back to the hand and it doesn't get played. This is so good too, because all the Zamasu stuff is indestructible, but this gets around that because it prevents the play. And then permanent, if you have a blue Unison card with 2 or more markers, which is pretty easy for this deck to do, you can use this card's counter without paying energy cost, because you never want to pay 5 for this. You always want to use this effect for free, and that's another reason why I want to bump Gotenks to 3, but the deck space, again, is a bit tight. Moving on to the Wig Editions of the deck, Janemba Infernal Intruder at 3. You know me, guys. I love this card. It's such a great coming back from behind card. Like, if your board does get wiped and you are kind of set behind, this is a 1-drop 20k crit. It's so powerful. We're playing mono blue. I wanted to include it, and it's been pretty good so far. I've definitely enjoyed it. 4 Obuni After Image Slash. It is the best mono blue kind of win condition / mid-range battle card, and you're not afraid of deflect. And if your opponent does have a board wipe, which this card kind of hates, like SS Vegeta Exploiting Weakness, if your opponent has the board wipe, your leader says you can benefit off of that. So you play the tokens, and then if your opponent wipes the Obuni, you get to plus off of it. And then our one secret rare, Black Smoke Dragon Eternal Evil. There's no real good mono blue secret rare to play. This is like the best generic one. You could play the Dragon Ball SCR, but it's really usually never good to wipe your own board, and sometimes it can be tough to make a drop area in this deck, at least if your opponent's not being like super aggressive. But a great alternative to Black Smoke Dragon, if you guys want to keep it a little more budget friendly, would be Fu Shrouded in Mystery. Fu Shrouded in Mystery is a great alternative to this card. You know, the secret rare slot, it's like not super essential because Fu Shrouded is like a budget, not secret rare alternative. So you could play that instead. But overall, guys, this is the deck profile. Again, in the early stages. I want to know what you think in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all next time.